Hey, what's going on, Brick Squad? Welcome back to another episode of Building Anaxes in LEGO. We have week number 23, and after a 2-week break last week, I got a little sick. I wasn't feeling up to making a video, but this week we got a ton of stuff done, hence why the title is called Mega Update. Tons and tons of stuff to show you guys today. Now, before we go ahead and get started, make sure you guys go ahead and support our 2 series sponsors. Number 1, Brick Stuff. If you guys are looking for any custom third-party light-up kits for sets or mocks or anything like that, make sure you guys check out brickstuff.com. Use coupon code capital T, capital B, capital W 10 to save 10% off of your order. And also be sure to check out Minifigs For You. They have great custom detailed minifigures. I've been using a lot of them in the mock, so make sure you guys go check out both of our series sponsors down below in the description. So last week I left off with a couple of sort of prototypes and like pre-designed things. Number 1, the mountain, which was a very small chunk, and you guys will see today there's a ton more done that I'm here to show you. And also the wall door, which a lot of you guys, an overwhelming amount of you guys, actually told me to make bigger. So I did actually end up doing both of those things. I ended up making the wall pretty much doubling it in size, and then also adding a whole bunch of new mountain and rock work to show you guys. I'm sure you might be able to see behind me just a little bit, maybe like right over there. I don't know if you guys can see it too well, but I'm super excited to show you guys what we have in store for today. Now, as a quick little side note, not related to the mock necessarily, this week my basement flooded. I think it was on Monday or Tuesday, so I spent a majority of the weekdays actually cleaning up, reorganizing myself, and it's sort of a blessing in disguise because my collection in my basement was pretty unsorted, unorganized, so this of course forced me to take everything out of the storage area and out of the basement, sort of reorganize it and put it back in. So it's actually kind of good that the basement flooded, if that makes sense, because my organization is so much better now, so I'm actually able to find a lot more parts easily. So that's kind of a cool thing. But of course there was no live stream. Even though this still is a mega update, it's still not entirely like 100% what I wanted to have done for this week. So I hope you guys understand. It's just an unfortunate set of circumstances with the basement flooding and me working every day, Monday through Friday this week. But nonetheless, I'm very happy and very excited to show you guys what I got done for today. Now this week we're going to be trying something a little bit different. Usually after the intro like this, I cut to a time lapse of me building. Now, for a couple reasons. Number 1, because I wanted to try something new, try a little something different in the channel here, but also 2, because I was working on it so rapidly and so in segments and in increments, I didn't feel like a time lapse was necessary. So this time, we're going to actually be taking a look at me building the process, me giving you guys updates as to each and every single stage of what it's looking like in my basement, also up here as well. So hope you guys enjoy this new format. Let me know what you guys think. Would you rather have the time lapses, or would you rather have these little updates going on periodically throughout the first half of the video? So let me know down below in the comments what you guys think of the video. Of course, drop a like before we go ahead and get started. If you guys are brand new to the channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Helps out the channel a ton. And without any further delay, let's go ahead and jump on into Building Anaxes, week 23, the mega update. Alrighty, so for this week's segment, we're starting something a little bit different. I'm going to actually give you guys updates of what I'm working on in real time as it's going on. So we are on stream right now. I do these weekly. If you guys haven't already subscribed and want to watch these live with me, go ahead and do so. We're going to first start off by working on this wall. You guys spoke in the last segment. We are going to be extending it at least 2 or 3 bricks, both top and bottom. So that is task number 1. Let's go ahead and get that started right now. All right, so we are about, what does it say, 22 minutes into the stream. We got the first 3 layers on the top going here. I've also lined the entire top, the entire top of the wall here with plates just to make sure it's all sturdy. Right now we're working on the bottom layer, probably gonna do another 3 bricks or so, so we'll catch you guys in a little bit. So now that we have the wall done, I'm actually gonna move on to building a little bit more of that mountain, seeing if we can get that up a little bit and get some more progress while we're on the stream. So here is the progress we got done so far for the wall. Now I did actually have to tear a bunch of it down because the door is bigger now. So this little section right here actually had to be almost completely redone because it has to accommodate the new size of the wall. So that is done. We're working on maybe completing this little top section and rounding off the top. Then we might expand to making some back sections around here. But this is the mock after about maybe 20 minutes of working on the rock work. It definitely is very time consuming. Now, for those of you guys who are kind of new to the series or new to Lego building, building any mountain is extremely time consuming. It takes a long time. This is only 20 minutes and honestly it doesn't even look like anything changed. So I'm working a lot on this kind of stuff. Hope you guys do appreciate it and kind of know what that I am working on. But we're gonna keep going. We got chat is keeping me alive right now, so we're gonna keep having fun, and we'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, we're just at about the hour-and-a-half mark on the stream. We got the mountain. It's going pretty well. We started to work on the right side of it, building up that structure behind it. Ideally, I'd like to have this thing go up to about here. and then maybe even complete the side place. But so I've actually moved everything here, and this is probably about after another hour of work, and you can see I'm already starting to build up that second side. Ideally, by the end of this week's segment, I'd like to have both of the sides of the mountain actually to the same point, but this is just to give an overhead view. And I gotta say, as you know, bad as the lighting is in my basement, I really can't fix that until I show you guys what it looks like inside the actual room. But like, this is coming together really nice. I gotta say, it's a really simplistic design for that mountain. It's nothing too crazy, nothing too intricate, but I really am liking how it's coming out. I think it definitely gets the job done. In terms of the wall, I am thinking of going one more brick both on the bottom and the top, so I might actually do that before I move on to doing any more mountain. But it's coming along. I'm really motivated. I think next we're gonna at the very least get like the plates onto this front section right here, just to give us a little less we have to do eventually. But yeah, this is what it's looking like. I hope you guys are enjoying it, and I think we're gonna go ahead and work on the plates. All right, so a lot has happened since the last cut. My basement flood. I'll show you footage right now. Basically there was water everywhere. I spent like 3 or 4 days with my dad cleaning everything up. It obviously put a huge halt, I guess, in the progress, but nonetheless, today's Thursday night. I am back here. The basement is very clean, so we are still continuing to work on the wall. First off, you guys should be able to see it. There is quite a considerable amount of progress done. Both the mountains on either side are pretty much built to a pretty even point, and the wall is also built up. Right now, we are working on this piece right here. Now, the idea with this element right here is actually going to be to go across the top right here. So you can see this little part right here. So basically there needs to be a long beam like this going across the top of the wall. So that's what we're gonna be starting on right here. I've already started to sort of prototype the design for that. It's basically just bricks going across. I'm gonna see how heavy, how sturdy it is going forward. So I'll catch you guys in just a little bit when I finally have some progress here, and maybe I can even show you what it looks like when it's done on top of the entire wall. All right, so quick update for what I've got done so far. This is probably about 3 hours or so more into the build, and this is what I have completed for this week's segment. Now, we will be going upstairs and showing everything and how it looks on the mock, but I wanted to give you guys a look as to what it looks like down here in my basement, because it's a little easier to go around the edges and show you guys exactly like what is actually going on in this build, because upstairs there's not a lot of room for me to walk around and show you guys what I've been doing. So first off, let's just comparably talk about what was done last week compared to this week. Last week we had the wall that was probably about half this height, and the mountain right here, just this right section, that probably went up to about there. So we spent a lot of time working on both sides of the mountain, getting them built up considerably. I also have spent a lot of time building up the sides as well. So we are honestly on a really good track here, and I'm pretty excited for it. But now we obviously did raise that base wall. It is considerably bigger. I think I added like maybe 3 or 4 bricks on either side. I don't know honestly what I was thinking before when I was looking at that wall. I think it definitely needed to be bigger, and I think this is definitely a good size. So now getting back to the mountains really fast. Again, this is what we got done so far, and I'm still using that technique of less is more, right? I'm using the technique of a laser cutter going right down the edge of a mountain, and I'm using some different varieties of slopes and stuff like that to make it a very sort of clean razor cut mountain. And honestly, it's a very simple technique. I've been draining through my parts. I'm running low on almost all the parts of dark bluish gray that I have, so I might have to run into a Lego store and try to get some more. But I've been using the same general technique for the mountain, and I gotta say, I really do like it. Now, as far as the height goes, I think we're probably going to have this go maybe 10 more bricks high or something like that. Again, it's not going to be as tall as Crate, for instance. I don't want the entire mock to just be about this mountain, but I do want the mock to have a decent enough backdrop, being this mountain and being this door. Obviously, the main focus is the fort, you know, all the walkers, all the troops, stuff like that. But I do want it to be a decent height where it could be a very nice backdrop. So I think we're going to have it go maybe like 10, 15 more bricks high from this level. Like I said before in last week, guys, there is not going to be an interior. I just don't have enough room. Speaking of that, actually, I'll kind of show you what the backside is looking like so far. A little bit of a mess. You guys can see here all the filler for the mountains and the wall especially. I've been using a lot of different parts here to make sure everything is built up to standard, making sure obviously this travels well, because that is going to be a very important thing. I've actually connected the wall with some bricks right here, which is obviously not going to be able to stay there for the entirety of the time the mock is built, because I will have to travel with it. But you guys can see the interior, what I've been working on, how I've been building up this back wall and stuff like that. Not necessarily the most uniform thing I've been doing, but it's been working. I don't even know what piece this is right here, but I've been utilizing a lot of these. It's a really cost-effective way to get height on a mock, because obviously if you stack a whole bunch of them together, it kind of brings it up to the level of the wall itself. So I've been using a bunch of those. I'm running out of those, so hopefully I can utilize those and maybe not have to get any more of them. But I've been using a lot of filler lately. I definitely don't have to worry about filler, that's for sure. I have a ton of it left over from Crate and Kessel and all my previous mocks, so filler is not going to be an issue, I don't think. But obviously we will have to cover this entire back section with a line of brick right here. So that's kind of what the back's looking like. It's not necessarily the most pretty thing to look at, but again, obviously you're not really going to be looking at it from the back. You're going to be looking at it from the front right here. And even though it is still pretty bland, right, we still have a lot of texturing to do with wedges and other stuff and other fun clone stuff like that to be in the front of the wall, but this is sort of what it's looking like as of now. So in total from last week, I probably spent about 7 or 8 hours working on this kind of stuff. The mountain takes a while. I'd say I sit down for an hour and only get about like this section done right here. So you can kind of imagine how much time was spent making the wall, obviously making it look as natural as I can and as different as I can. I don't want it to be like a carbon copy of the other side, but I've been spending a lot of time on the mock. Definitely think this warrants a mega update title because we got a ton of stuff done and I'm really happy with how this is coming out. So right now what we're going to do, we're going to hop upstairs, going to disassemble everything, bring it upstairs into the room, and we're going to show you guys what it looks like with the current Fort Anaxes build. Let's go. All right, so after spending a good couple of minutes setting up that mountain that we got so far, this is what it's looking like in terms of the overall mock. I'm going to try and give you guys a couple of different angles here as to just see the sense of scale. Now, like I said earlier, the mountain is supposed to be a backdrop, right? It's not supposed to be the main focus of it. Obviously, the focus is everything that's going on right here as well. So having that mountain backdrop being a little taller obviously is going to help, but it's a decent looking backdrop right now. And you guys can remember last week I gave you the same exact angle right here, and you can see that base wall was definitely much bigger now, especially that mountain as well. So I'm actually really happy that you guys voiced your opinion on that, making me want to build it larger, because I think it does make a difference and does make sense, and I do want to thank you guys for that. Now, that being said, this is what it looks like in terms of everything else. Now, obviously, there's a couple things we still have to do here. I'm going to basically, I might actually take these two segments of the side road away and have this entire area just be like foliage and like dark bluish gray terrain, stuff like that. Maybe even another river if I have enough pieces. But again, I do still have to plate this like entire section right here of whatever's left of my dark bluish gray plate inventory. I do want to give a huge thanks to my buddy Lynx, or BrickNado Studios. He's not in the community anymore, but a lot of these plates right here were actually from what he sold to me. Lots of like 8x8, 6x16, so it really wasn't a pain at all to actually add these plates here. But now getting a better look at the mountain and how it compares with the rest of the mock, like that's super cool. Just getting a really cool shot right here of the overall mock. I don't have my wide angle lens yet. I'm working on getting that soon, guys, so don't worry. But yeah, this thing is really coming together. Like I said, the mountain's probably going to be another 5 or 10 or 15 bricks higher. I still have to sort of just see what kind of works better with the overall sense of scale, but I really like the mountain. Like, it's such a simple technique, but when you take a look at what an axis looks like and you look at the mountain, like, it really does look good. So I'm really happy with how that's coming out so far. Hope you guys are enjoying that and just enjoying a little bit of like a different take on the mountain. But I did spend a considerable amount of time this week working on that, so I really do hope you guys like appreciate that mountain and just all the work that's been going on for it. So I'm actually really happy with just how the overall mock's looking right now. Like this is looking crazy, finally having that backdrop of a mountain there for us to look at, right? We have the tower right in front of us, the ATTE right down there, and then we have that big smexy mountain right there. So that is super cool. I cannot wait to continue building that mountain up and just having it reach a crazy level. In fact, I guess for a good sense of scale, I think the size of the Star Destroyer display case, I think that's going to be where the height is going to be for the mountain. So you guys can imagine that's going to be a pretty significant mountain, especially with this like really cool shot right here. So that's going to be really fun. I'm really excited to see that unveil over the next week or two, and hopefully even have that mountain done within the by the end of the month. Hopefully that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, that is what it's looking like. I hope you guys enjoy this. It is a little bit of a pain to have to move this entire mountain through my door and get it into here. I have to move the Star Destroyer over to the right. I have to finagle myself in here and get everything lined up. But I think it's worth it. I think it looks really nice, and I think just having like, I really just wish I had my wide angle lens right now just to get like a whole entire view of of the base in one shot right now, but this is looking amazing. And also, just to show you guys how big this mountain is, or I guess how much bigger comparatively to the last week, here I'm gonna put a minifigure here. Remember, the wall maybe went up to about the first row of like detail right here, but now it's obviously much bigger, and you can just see the scale of the wall. I don't think it actually is captured well on a camera, but if you were here in person, it's pretty big. I think you guys can take my word for it. And hopefully you guys can make it to Brick Fair, Virginia, which is where this MOC will be on display in 2020. So that's super, super cool. I'm really happy with how this looks and it fits overall with the rest of the MOC. That's going to wrap up this part of the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let's go ahead and jump to the outro of Building Anaxes Week 23 right now. So guys, that brings week 23 of this week's Anaxes episode to a close. I hope the progress that I got done justifies the mega update title. In my honest opinion, we got a ton done. In fact, I probably have never gotten more done in a single episode in terms of just structure. Like, we built up so much mountain. In fact, that mountain's probably a little more than halfway as to where the height is going to be, so it's actually pretty cool to see that coming together. I'm also really having a lot of fun making the mountain, which is kind of weird to say. It's different. It's not like using normal slopes and building like a normal mountain. It's doing something a little bit different than we've seen here on the channel, and doing something different that's not really often done in the community. So I'm happy to be sort of individually going through this new process of a new design. It's super fun. So I'm actually really enjoying this mountain rock work, oddly enough. So now, like I might have said anywhere in the video, I think the total amount of time I spent working on that entire back section this week was anywhere between like 7 to 9 or 8 hours. So we got a ton done, and considering work again and all that kind of stuff, that is a lot of progress. Now, that being said, next week I'm going back to school. The spring semester does start for me. Luckily, I only have class 3 days a week. Obviously, that excludes online courses, but also obviously do have work. So we actually might not be too hindered this semester by my school. Obviously, when midterms and finals roll up, that's a different story. But as far as continuing this progress on a steady sort of note, we might actually be able to do that. So I'm really excited for that. Of course, that does mean school does have to come first, unfortunately, but I will still be devoting a ton of time to the MOC and making sure we have updates every single week. Now, it is coming close to February. The Clone Wars releases, I believe, in the middle of February, and that is our new deadline. So basically, I'm thinking in my mind it'll be beneficial to me as a channel, as an organization, as a business to release this MOC when the Clone Wars does come out. So I'm thinking this MOC is going to be done by the end of February. I don't have a specific date as of yet. I'm still working on that. And also, quick update, guys, if any of you want to help me design that medical bay, definitely send me an email, a studio file, an LDD file, anything like that. I don't know what to do with that one, so let me know down below, guys. Email me if you guys have any suggestions. Now, as far as the next couple of segments go, we will be continuing to work on that mountain. I will be sprinkling in a couple of different unique segments coming in, maybe even as early as next week, so make sure you guys are staying tuned for that. And I think that's kind of all the important information I wanted to get out of the way. It's snowing. I don't know if you guys can see this, actually. It's kind of cool. I like snow. Snow's kind of cool. But that kind of wraps it up. Hope you guys all enjoyed this week's segment. I got a ton of stuff done, and I really am super hyped and just really excited for the continuation of this build. So guys, subscribe if you guys are brand new to the channel. Make sure you drop a like and let me know down below in the comments what you're thinking so far. And I think that's all we have for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow with a really cool video, and that's it. See you guys later. Take it easy. Peace.